let's go ahead and give you guys that intro. All right. What is up, everybody? We are glad that you guys are here tonight and ready to go. We are ready to roll as well. As you saw in that quick little glitch, it is me and Mr. Collector that are holding it down tonight, and we are glad to be here with you hanging out. This is Carl's Collects Comics, and this is the giveaway show. This is our Wednesday night live stream that we do. It's all about promoting generosity in the comic community and going over the comic book news of the day. And there's quite a bit of it, man. We are getting stuff on the regular, definitely on the weekly basis, sometimes on the daily basis. We've got two big things that we're going to be hitting today, starting with a couple of those headlines. But we're also going to be doing a giveaway, as always. A couple of quick reminders for those that are new to the channel or maybe haven't been here in a while. We've got Monday Hauls Live that goes live on Mondays at 10 p.m. Central. That is our haul video extraordinaire time where myself, MT, and Michael Presas get together and share the books that we've picked up over the past week to week and a half. That's new books, vintage books, lots of cool ideas for adding stuff to your collection. Lots of good knowledge that MT and Michael drop as they are talking about the different books that they've been after, and lots of cool tips for stuff to add to your collection. I love sharing about these books that I'm passionate about, that I'm excited about, and I love it when you guys hang out with us there as well. In addition, we've got the giveaway show, which is what you're watching right now. That happens at 10 p.m. Central. Right here on the channel, and that's what you're watching. Generally, it's myself, Paul, and then we've got a special fun announcement about Mr. Collector here in a second. But then lastly, on Fridays, we have, I've been calling them the Friday features, but they're probably going to transition to weekend features. But really what they are is just a good, healthy dose of a variety of different types of videos that we put together that are scripted. Some of them are going to be live stream fun shows that we've got cooked up. I'm going to share about one of those in just a second, but also want to let you know that the kind of the bread and butter of those has been the top 10 lists that I've been sharing. The one that goes live this Friday is the top 10 Punisher comics that you should be checking out right now, that you should be considering adding to your collection. This is a lot of fun because I'm a huge Punisher War Journal fan and a Punisher from the early 90s. I'm a huge fan of that version of the Punisher. Just really enjoyed those books growing up as a young teenager, and so that's a lot of fun. So that's going to be coming up this on the top 10 list for this Friday. That'll go live this Friday at 10 p.m. Central. If you look at the homepage on YouTube, on the YouTube channel here, you'll see that there's a new playlist, a new section added to the very top, right under the trailer, and that is This Week at Carl's Collects Comics. And what we're going to be doing is every week I'm going to be changing it out with the shows scheduled to go live for this week. So right at the top, you'll be able to see which shows are going live, and you'll know what to expect. So I'm really excited about that. It was something that kind of came to me over the break, and I said, hey, let's go ahead and try this and see how people like it. But I think you guys will enjoy it. So there's some new video, a new type of video we're going to be adding this year in 2023. These are the creator interviews. Now, there's one of these that's already live on the channel. This is an interview that I did a couple years ago with Mark Waid, the prolific writer behind the classic Kingdom Come and the JLA Tower of Babel storyline. If you want to hear some of his inspiration and his behind-the-scenes stories of when he was creating those comic books, when he was coming up with them, I got the chance to do a really cool interview with him. and you can head right up. That is live on the channel right now. But coming up the last Friday of this month, we're going to be interviewing a local to Houston independent comic creator named Geoffrey Cotton. Geoffrey is probably one of the most successful independent comic book creators that I've come across. He's got multiple titles. They are consistently funded on Kickstarter, including the horror anthology series Awful Thoughts. There's also a revenge tale called Birds of a Feather. There's the current horror comic that he's got right now called Roseville. We're going to be sharing some exclusive looks at that on that Friday. And then End of Man is a science fiction story. So Geoffrey's got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm excited about this. We scheduled him. He's going to be the first. But each month, on the last Friday of the month, we're going to be doing a live stream or pre-recorded interview with some really cool comic book creators. And I'm very excited to reveal those guys. But like I said, if you want to check out one interview that I've already done with Mark Wade, make sure and check that out. It's live on the channel under the creator interview playlist. And then on Friday, January the 27th, the last Friday of the month, we're going to be doing this interview with Geoffrey Cotton. So make sure you're here for that as well. Well, hey guys, we have been. It has been great to just get to share with you about what's going on with the comic, with this corner of the comic book community. Well, hey, let's go ahead and bring out Mr. Collector, and let's get this thing kicked off because we are excited about being with you here tonight. So, Mr. Collector, what say you, sir?
Hey, how are you doing, Carlos? First, thank you for having me again. And this is actually the first show for the new year, so.
It is. And we have this special announcement to make. So we're excited because I talked to the real man behind the scenes, the real power broker here at the channel, Paul Comics. And he and I agreed, hey, you know what? We'd like to join, or we'd like to bring and solidify Mr. Collector as a permanent panelist here on Wednesday nights, the giveaway show. So, Mr. Collector, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. I love it. I absolutely love being here with you and Paul and the chat. The chat's always amazing. So, and as the channel grows, we all grow with it. So, it's a big blessing to, to be part of this. So, thank you again, Carlos. Paul, Paul might be coming on later on. So, with him not here so far, we can afford orange juice and we can cut some costs when he's not here.
We got flavored water instead of just regular water. So but seriously, hey, for those who are wondering, Paul is doing okay, but he did have a family thing come up. He had to go help his sister out, and me, family comes first. So I told him, I said, hey man, knock it out, do what you got to do, and he's going to try to get to an internet port somewhere and log on before we are done for the night. But if he doesn't, y'all make sure to drop him a line and say, hey man, it's all cool, take care of your family. All right, so hey, we got some really cool stuff to talk about tonight. But before we get into this, I want to do some chat shout outs right now. And so we're going to go ahead and do that, and then in a little bit we're going to reveal the giveaway for tonight. And then after that, we will get started with the discussion. We got some cool stuff. We're going to be talking about Ezra Miller and the continuing conversations about casting at DC. We're also going to be talking about that Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania trailer and some of the rumors and news and excitement that is swirling around that, because I think it took a lot of people off guard. And a lot of us are very excited about it. It looks like a return to form for Marvel. And so I'm very excited. I'm really looking forward to talking about it, digging into it. But we're going to get to that in just a second. Let's say hi to the chat real quick. El Green Machine. What's up, sir? First like and comment. Good evening, Carlos MT and Paul. And, of course, Mr. Collector, too. All right. Hey, El Green, thank you so much for being such a cool part of the community, always connecting with us and always making sure to be there. And, you're a vital part of it, hanging out in the chat and being here with us. Let's see. Jonathan Dotson, I see. What's up, my Facebook friend? Let's see. I think this is the 8:30 show. Let's see. There I am. No, it's Paul's fault all the time. He's like, actually, tonight it was me. I had just walked in the door at about 9:40 from work, and then I had a quick bite to eat because I hadn't had dinner yet, and then raced up here to the loft to get to get us going. So very excited to do that. All right, let's see. Jonathan Dotson laughing. Hello to Jen as well. Yeah. Next show on YouTube. Thank you, Jonathan Dotson. That is much appreciated. That's a high praise. Thank you for being here. Johnny Five Alive, what's up, sir? Yo, back at you. El Green Machine, I have a lot of punishing you might like, Carl, so I'll show you some. Yes, please do. Pass it along. Thank you for sending that link earlier as well. El Green has kept an eye out for it because he knows the era of Justice League of America that I'm all about. And there's a Facebook seller, or not Facebook, Instagram seller that's got some books for sale that I'm really interested in because it's right in that time period. It's right in my sweet spot. Let's see. Hashtag Power Show. Yep, I'm going to see if I can get those slides at one of the points when Mr. Collector is sharing. I'm going to see if I can get those slides loaded. But they didn't come over to this side of StreamYard. Mike Bravo, what's up, sir? Good to see you. Nelvis Eats, hey, he stayed awake. What's up, man? It's good to see you. Carlos DLR, good to see you as well. What's up? Neon Kane, hey, it's good to see you. And then there's Johnny Five Alive. All right, guys. Hey, we're glad that you're here with us tonight. We're going to get it started. I'm going to look for I'm going to grab a giveaway book here in just a second and show that off. But I wanted to just say hi to the chat. I'm going to bring Mr. Collector on back on real quick. So, Mr. Collector, we are, let's see, we're living in very interesting times right now.
Definitely.
Some very,
No, definitely. I agree.
We've got some very, let's see, can everybody hear me? Here, you know what? I think, is this any better?
Yeah, it's louder.
Okay, yeah. No, I didn't extend my boom mic out here. All right, so hey, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. So, Mr. Collector, there is a last week sucked for me without the 3 shows. Hey, El Green, we're glad that you jumped through hoops to be here and to hang out with us. And yeah, I totally understand. But you know what? Hey, you're one of our girls has been singing this cool song, and it's something along the lines of "You're never alone when you're reading a book." And I thought that was a really neat thing because, if you think about it, you're in with the characters. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's see, Nelvis Eats. Okay, Spider Girl, what's up? Good to see you as well. All right, so Mr. Collector, we have a couple good bits of news, and I'm going to try to pull these up here real quick and get. We have seen some news popping up. Now, this is a little bit older. That there might be openness to trying to find the actual article, but now everything that's up is about okay, it's not showing up. It's not coming up. Okay. So Ezra Miller is starting the press tour ahead of the release of The Flash. Let me find it here real quick. Okay. We'll just go with giant freaking robot. That's all right. Okay, I'm going to share this, Mr. Collector. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Get all these pop-ups. So many sneaking pop-ups. No ad choices. All right. Let's do this. Sorry, guys.
What are you doing that? Do you want me to talk about what I know so far about Ezra?
Um, yeah. Why don't we? Okay, so here, yeah. So I finally got it. This is the headline. I don't know what this little weird ad in the corner is. All right, so Mr. Collector, what's up,
Mhm.
Spider Girl? Good to see you. Glad that you're here with us tonight. All right, so Mr. Collector, what do you know um, about this?
So actually, a few hours ago, Ezra Miller is going to plead guilty for the charges that he, was accused for. So the I don't know if everyone knows the whole story about what happened with him. So I believe it was in Maryland. They have a family friend that lives down the street from his mother's house. So when him and I think another friend went over there and supposedly broke in and they took a bunch of wine and liquor, and they ended up going back to the house. So the neighbor obviously called the cops and he was arrested. But he told the officers that he was given permission through the homeowner and that they're a family friend and they knew they were coming over to grab some stuff, but they denied it and said no, we never gave anyone permission to come into our house and take anything. So I don't know if it was forced entry or not, but either way, obviously he was charged and he's going to plead guilty to help with, I guess, I don't know exactly what would happen to him if he will serve any time. I don't know how much the value was exactly, but either way, it was breaking and entering, theft. So I mean, it's still serious charges. So I know they were having thoughts about bringing him back, maybe, but I think with him pleading guilty, I don't know if that really helps his case or not. But either way, I see it. I think it's more of another DC way of trying to get people to talk about DC more. Because in all honesty, I think a lot of people are talking DC, DC, DC recently more than Marvel, and I think it's more publicity than anything. So I think maybe it's just more of a stunt to get people to want to see the movie or talk about the movie. Because I know a lot of people said, I don't want to see. I'm not a lot, but I know heard people say they don't want to see the movie now because it's been delayed so much, and it's not even going to matter because they're going to restart everything, and they're just tired of it. So I think they're trying to hype it up more and say he might be coming back, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's more of just a stunt to get people to talk about the Flash movie, promote it more, and just help with more hype about it. That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good take on it. So I had seen the headlines start to pop up about it, but I hadn't had a chance to look into what exactly was going on. This was the initial headline that I'd looked at this, that they were still thinking about keeping him, or that they were open to the idea of keeping him, but then I think that quickly fell by the wayside because of course they're not going to start talking about getting rid of him before the release of the movie. But now that's interesting what you're saying about that now they're coming out with the full, with kind of the fuller story and some, him speaking out about it. Because you said he spoke out, right? That he's broken his
Yes,
stance on it.
he apologized and saying he wants to get his life back together and he wants to make right for what he did wrong. So he admitted that he did wrong, but he's just trying to start over again. Let me see if I can find the actual quote, but I know he was apologizing left and right about it.
So, Mr. Clark, do you think, in chat to y'all as well, do you guys think that he's like legitimately turned around, or do y'all think that this is maybe just part of the PR machine at work?
I mean, I personally think that if he's saying that he's sorry, which I'm not saying he's lying, but I mean, think about it. If you're not sorry for what you did and you don't apologize and you act like you did nothing wrong and you don't own up to your mistakes, who's gonna want to work with you? later on, especially with
Yeah.
him doing as much damage as he did to, him, not just himself, but to DC. It puts a bad name into the place you're working for.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to backpedal to where he's saying he's sorry. And like I said, I don't think I'm not saying he's lying or he doesn't want to change, but I think he's definitely trying to cover as much as he can from what he did. And it's going to take a lot more than saying you're sorry. You're going to have to show it and, get your act together.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Like you said, he's going to have to show it. He's going to have to put it out there. He's going to have to follow his words up with actions and see. Why don't you see if you can find that,
a quote?
If you can find that article. So chat, here's the question. How many of you would want to see Ezra Miller continue as the Flash, if that even was an option? I have my opinions on it, but I'd like to see, what does the chat say? What do you say? Would you want to see Ezra Miller continue? If so, cool. If not, who would you want to see replace him as the Flash? That's a question that we haven't talked about yet. So I'm going to be pulling up here this next article right now. See if we can get a little bit ahead of it while Mr. Collector's checking that out. Hey, let me show you all the. I wouldn't mind seeing continued. Okay, L Green Machine says, I wouldn't mind seeing him continue if he straightens up. If not, he can hit the road. True. Mike Bravo, hope he continues. Okay, you'd like to see more of Ezra Miller. I was hoping for a little bit more seasoned Flash, but then at the same time, I think they had to have somebody that was what's up, Tony Stank. I guess they had to have somebody who was a newer, younger, like junior member. But I don't know. He came across more like the Wally West version of the Flash from the '90s JLA series than the kind of the classic Flash or the classic Barry Allen. Because I always felt like Barry Allen was more different universes always worked. LOL. So I don't know. I think that's something that that remains to be seen.
All right, Carlos, I found it.
You found it? Cool. All
right. So he said, I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. The statement read, I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage of my life. That's all it says, but I know, let me read this last part that was for the case. So right now, so as a part of the plea deal with prosecutors, Miller is set to receive a sentence of 89 to 90 days in jail, all suspended, and will be placed on probation for a year and will be fined $500. Pleaded not guilty in October to charges of burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, of petty larceny for allegedly breaking into a nearby home, stealing 3 bottles of liquor containing gin, vodka, and rum. So, I mean, obviously he was saying that he, told that the neighbors knew already that he was going over there, but obviously that wasn't the case. If someone called the cops, he was saying that they were a family friend, but I mean, to break in someone's house and to steal 3 bottles of liquor, that's sad. Because it's not like he needed it. It's not like he doesn't have money. So I don't know if he was. It doesn't say he was under the influence. I don't think. I didn't read that part, but I think a lot of pressure with, especially younger. Well, not just younger, but people that have that star status. They play so much of a big role that everyone keeps eyes on them, and I think sometimes it pushes people to the limit, to the point of where I think that it does a lot mentally to them. But there's also people that feel like they're entitled just because their name's on the billboard or their names are plastered everywhere. They feel like they can do whatever they want, and that's not the case. Obviously, because he got caught, and now he has to do. He's getting punished for it. And I guess he thought that DC was just gonna, slap his wrist and tell him, it's fine. As much as he already did for them, that for the brand already. So I still don't think that DC is really gonna want to get him back. It's he's had this isn't the first time that he's done collateral damage to the brand and himself. So I personally think they're better off without him, getting someone else. And also another thing, if they do decide to keep him, I think there's not going to be, offering him more money. Obviously, I think they would probably keep his pay the same. If not, they might even cut it to tell him like, hey, right now you're not in a good spot to where you could tell us,
Right.
you deserve a raise. So I think if they do keep him, I don't think he's gonna expect to make more money. I think to keep him on board and to keep working, I think they're gonna either keep his pay the same or they might even cut it a little. I definitely don't see him making more money in the next movie.
No. Yeah. I'd have a hard time seeing them in any world justify a pay raise.
No.
I could absolutely see them saying, you know what? We're going to keep you, but you're going to take a 35% pay cut, and you're going to do that for 5 films.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
But honestly, to be completely honest, I don't know that I see. I don't know. I just don't know that realistically that they would keep him, because I think him and Amber Heard have both kind of, it's their personal lives are too, regardless of talent, their personal lives pull too much attention away from the angle and the story that the studio wants to tell. Which anytime they're going to premiere a new film, there's always a story behind the story that the studio pushes as part of their PR campaign that helps sell the movie. And I think if it, with so much baggage, with so much time, and with everybody knowing now that like the Michael Keaton Batman Beyond project is not happening, and and there's just so much to it that I think it would be really hard for them to still keep him. But yeah, I do agree that if they kept him, he's certainly not getting a pay raise. So real quick, hey, let me reveal the giveaway book for tonight. This is a fun book that I've had here in the giveaway box for a little bit. This is X Factor issue number 92. It's one of the Fatal Attraction storyline that has this really cool hollow cover piece on it. But this one is signed number 2575 of 7500. It is a Dynamic Forces signature book, and this is X Factor 92, signed by Joe Quesada. So it comes with a certificate of authenticity, and it is signed by him. It's number 2575 of 7500. It is. I'm putting it at about a near mint minus, because it does have a tick right here. 1, 2. It's got 2 ticks, but otherwise in pretty decent shape. And then it's got the COA, the signature, and I know that these hollow foil card attached covers are becoming desirable. So nice book, nice giveaway book. We'll be doing the giveaway for that in just a little bit. But before we do that, hey, let's check out. We're going to do another one of our things that gets us a copyright claim. We're going to go ahead and we're going to all watch this trailer together, and Mr. Collector, maybe we can offer commentary on it. Let's see. All right, let's check this out. This is the trailer. We're going to talk about this in just a second, but right now let's go ahead and watch it together, all of us. If you haven't seen it, this is the newly released trailer from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So let's check it out.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time. Like me. We can help each other with that. Who are you? I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
It can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
Let me make this easy for you. You will bring me what I need. Or everything you call a life will end.
This is all my fault.
It's so freaky.
You may not want her to watch this.
We had a deal.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I'm sorry, Cassie.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, that was the trailer. You've probably all seen it, but I wanted to share it real quick because we are going to be talking about it, and I thought it would be good for us to just watch it real quick and check it out here. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Several things going on in that trailer. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. El Green and Spider Girl. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. Looks like it's going to be a solid return to form for Marvel. It definitely had a much darker tone to this trailer than the first two Ant-Mans, which were very much kind of light comedy, almost rom-com feeling. But still action, still cool action, but lots and lots of humor. So definitely a different tone. Mr. Collector, what were some of your just initial thoughts on the trailer when the first time you watched it?
Compared to the first trailer that they released, I think the little teaser, I was kind of iffy about it because it was just, obviously it's a teaser, so it doesn't give you that much explanation of what's kind of going on. But this one dove in a lot deeper, and so you have a better idea of what the story is about. Obviously, it's about him wanting to get back to Cassie, his daughter, get back that time that they lost together. But I think the CGI in here is, I think the way they used, what was it, the Doctor Strange one, I think they used so much into it. It at times it just looked confusing because there was so much going on. This one looks like they actually put that work into it, and it looks a lot cleaner. Now, the
Right.
only thing I will say is so much CGI in it, it can be a little too much at the same time. Even though it looks cleaner than the Doctor Strange one, you could also tell that I think 85 to 90% of this movie is going to be all CGI. I know, obviously, superhero movies, they use CGI, but like you said, the first two films, there's more on land, and you can tell that it's not using CGI. So this one, I'm hoping they really invested the money they need to make it look as good as it looks in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I have definitely high hopes for this film, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. I haven't heard one bad thing about it, at least not from anyone I've talked to about it. So I think it's going to be really good. I think also it's going to be, I don't want to say it's his last film, but I think a lot of people, once they get to a certain film, it's because this will be his trilogy. So
Right.
I don't see them making a fourth movie. I really don't. So I think it's more of a, let's go out with a bang. And I don't think he might survive it. I definitely don't think Hank Pym's gonna survive. I think he's gonna sacrifice himself, and I think someone else might too. But I think overall, I think he'll do whatever he has to for his daughter and his family. And with that, I think that's gonna be the start of the whole film leading up to Secret Wars or the
Mm.
Kang
Yeah,
Dynasty.
yeah, yeah.
So I think this is the start, and with the major death with that character like that, I think it's going to be the realization of how bad of a threat he is,
Yeah.
and especially with Loki already coming in contact with him, he could tell Thor and you have more people saying, this guy's serious, and then if Scott was to die, it's going to even keep it up a notch. So I mean, already we know he's a major threat, and he proved that in the Loki show. So,
Mhm.
with him making his debut, I don't think they're gonna cut him short like a one-off villain. I think he's gonna make a stand and prove to him why he's the next big bad. And I think it's gonna take a big death of Scott to prove that. And that's
Mm.
why I think he's gonna be gone.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, you jumped straight you jumped straight into what I was going to like the big question I was going to ask, which is okay, do you think they actually kill off Scott Lang's Ant-Man? Like, do you think they actually do it? You
I
you,
think so.
you
The
think
only
so?
reason why, yeah, the only reason why I say that is because you can't have a new guy that's supposed to be leading the lead villain into the next what 7 films, 6 films.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how many films it is exactly, but and I think the only way, like I said, to make that imprint to show that Thanos, he did so much damage, and that was a start of when first started, what 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, when it first started, and leading up 10 years later into those 2 final films, and the snap and everything. So I think they're gonna start him off and show like he's not here to play around, and
Yeah.
he'll do what he has to do to prove his how much power and strength he has. And I think they're gonna kill off Scott, and I think it's gonna be to the point of where it's not about just killing them off, but I also think it's about some of these guys they can only do these roles for so long.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he wants to keep making these films, but I think with these guys getting older, eventually they're gonna have to cut them off, and that's why they're bringing in all these young characters
Right,
to
right.
ready
Yeah.
to take over the next mantle.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's kind of what I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, good take on it. And I'm kind of the same way. See, we're seeing this kind of closure happening with a lot of these characters, because also like so Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Mhm.
We already know that we're pretty sure that we're going to lose Rocket Raccoon, and there's been heavy. I think they've heavily hinted that Dave Bautista is
Drax, yeah,
done after. Yes, so Drax is going too. And then I think I'd even read somewhere that they said that pretty much like the Guardians of the Galaxy roster at the end of Volume 3 is going to be almost completely different. Like there's only going to be like one or two people from the original, like
hmm
from the first iteration of the team. So I think and this is the thing. I didn't expect this, because I probably naively thought it was going to be another, Ant-Man film, a fun romp, but
yeah,
not really a bit. But then watching that, I'd started to see screen grabs of like Paul Rudd looking a little beat up. And
yeah,
then when this trailer dropped and him and Kang have like torn each other up, I said, "Whoa." I said, "Man, would they actually kill off one of the most beloved actors
mm,
slash character, slash heroes?
yeah,
Would they really, of all people, Ant-Man?" But then I started thinking about the thing that really kind of drew the Avengers together the first time around was the death of Agent Coulson,
Yeah.
who was
Remember.
another beloved character,
Hmm.
like smaller character, beloved by all the rest. And I started thinking, man, if they, to me, that's like a really bold move to
Yeah.
kill him off, because there's still a lot that you could do with that character. So I don't know, like I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that, man, because I really like Paul Rudd. Number one, he's ageless. Like he doesn't age.
Yeah, he
He looks
doesn't.
he's looked the same for the entirety of the MCU. He has looked the same. Everybody else has shown their age, but
Yeah.
Paul Rudd looks the same.
Yeah, Parla does not
So
age.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm after the trailer and seeing how to, because you saw like Kang had the whole arm and
Yeah.
shoulder ripped off the suit, and
Mhm.
Scott Lang just, I mean, yeah, he crushed the helmet and he was all beat up. I said,
It reminded me
man,
of the Dark Knight Rises with the mask and Bane.
yeah,
As soon as I saw him and the mask right there, I instantly thought of Dark Knight Rises
yeah,
with the
yeah,
mask.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Okay, let's
think a
do it.
lot of go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I kind of think also with how they'll show in the movie the superhero getting beat up and looks like he's defeated, but obviously they come on top at the end. And I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, it's always like every other comic book movie. He's gonna rise and obviously beat. And I think that's what's gonna throw people off is
Right, yeah.
assuming,
Exactly.
assuming.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. This is like the prime Kang version right here.
Yeah.
This is like this variant. It's not, the one who remains,
Mhm.
the one from the Loki one.
Yeah.
This is like the Kang the Conqueror one.
Mhm.
So if he's the big bad, I don't think they're going to kill him off. I don't think they're going to kill him
No.
off. But then what does it do to the MCU if, yeah, I mean, like I think you're on to some. I think you're on. Sadly, I think you're on to it, Mister Collector. And I say sadly because I don't want to see
Yeah.
Scott Lang die. I don't want to see it. I think Hank Pym. I could see, like, okay, to me the bold choice is letting Scott Lang die.
Mhm.
The safe choice is that it's Hank Pym, and possibly Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, that both sacrificed themselves to save the
Mhm.
day. But which that makes even more, that makes sense too, because it's like, Michael Douglas, he's getting up there, and
Yeah.
they would want to, I think, try to control how they write him out and make it be something. So, okay, so let's get to the chat real quick. I want to get to the chat and say some shout outs. For those who are tuning in, if you're wondering about the giveaway show, for all my beloved giveaway trolls, JT, I'm kidding, JT. If you're watching, I'm teasing you. All right, this is the giveaway book for tonight. It is a signed copy of X Factor number 92, signed by Joe Quesada. It is number 2,575 of 7,500. This is a Dynamic Forces exclusive, so that's signed here, and I am calling this a near mint minus. So this book is going to be given away tonight before the end of the night. Let me take a look. Let's look at the chat and see what the chat's saying. All right, L Green says too much going on in the background with CGI can really screw your visuals up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree.
Like Mr. Collector pointed that out, and I do think you're right. I think they actually probably did some work to it before, like from the last trailer to this trailer.
Yeah.
The visuals are a lot more cohesive and coherent, and not quite as kind of like all over the place.
Mhm.
Jonathan Dotson says they need to stop killing off all the good heroes. Correct. I hate that Chadwick Boseman went too soon, because yeah, that
I
just
don't know.
that franchise, it's never going to be the same without him. Let's see. Tricky Trapster says, "Who did Ezra blow?" I don't.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
think really what it boils down to is that they had to. They can't announce that he's leaving the role before the movie premieres
Yeah.
because people would not go see it. So they want to try to get people to go see it. So that's why they're rolling out the PR campaign. Harm's Way Chad, what's up, friend? Good to see you in the chat. El Green Machine says, okay, El Green Machine says someone has to die. That is
Oh,
correct.
definitely.
Somebody is dying. One of the main four is going to die. At least one of the main four is going to die in Quantumania. It's either going to be Scott Lang, Hope Van Dyne, Janet Van Dyne, or Hank Pym. Somebody's
I
not going
think
to.
two minimum.
You think two?
I think two of them are going to go.
Yeah, I could see that. I think honestly, if I had to choose, the one that I think is the safest is probably Hope Van Dyne, the Evangeline Lilly's character, the Wasp.
Yeah.
The current Wasp. I think she's safe, and I know for sure that Stature. She's not. If that's the name she's going to go, I think it's Stature. Right? Is her name Cassie Langs?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's safe. She's the next generation, so she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be more poignant if it's her dad, Scott Lang, that goes, but that'll break my heart because why do that to Paul Rudd? But then, think about it, the fan base would hate Kang at that point.
Well, that's what they want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he would then become, like you said, a villain of true, like people would say, oh, you know what it reminds me of? There was that Countdown to Crisis one shot that counted down to Infinite Crisis, and it was the one where Max Lord murders Ted Cord. He murders Ted Cord. Do you remember that?
I don't think I ever read that one.
It is one of the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching single issue stories because it's Ted Cord, one of the most beloved, lovable JLA members, right? The comedic character, right? Running around like he's tracking something down, like he's tracking down these payments or like these parts and like this little conspiracy thing. He's starting to put it together, and he goes to everybody else in the Justice League, and they just blow him off, and they tell him, man, now that's what are you doing, man? Like they don't take him seriously, and even his best friend Booster Gold, too little too late, starts to pay attention to what he's talking about. He goes after the villain by himself and comes face to face with Maxwell Lord from the 80s Justice League, and he kills him. And it is one of the most just like it's so heart-wrenching because he's such a it's one of the best Ted Cord Blue Beetle stories ever told, if not possibly the best, but it's the last before he was killed. I mean, they brought him back, but before he was killed. And so this Quantumania reminds me of that story, and I'll look and see when the next time you're talking on screen, Mr. Collector. I'll see if I can find the cover for it. But it is just a heartbreaking story, and I love it. But this reminds me of that, man, of the lovable character that nobody wants to see die, standing and fighting valiantly alone against a villain that is woefully, like, infinitely more powerful than him, that he shouldn't have a chance against, but he's still fighting him. And then, he ultimately falls. Let's see, El Green Machine. And then his daughter takes over as Ant Girl or Woman. Yes. Yeah. Because I think it's Stature. Harm's Way Chad. Paul Rudd doesn't age. He could be Ant-Man for 10 more years and no one would be able to tell. That's correct. Paul Rudd does not age. He has discovered the fountain of youth. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. So what I think, also I was thinking that I think Hank Pym is going to sacrifice himself. And the way I see it is, I think when, maybe before the whole mask gets broken off or, maybe a scene from that before that. I think he's gonna switch suits with uh, Scott Lang, and he's gonna wear the suit, and I think Kane's gonna think that's him in it, Scott Lang, and he's gonna distract him while Scott does, I guess, whatever he needs to I guess, defeat him. But I think King Pym's gonna sacrifice himself to make sure that Scott and them are free. So he's gonna put the suit that Scott has on, and they're gonna switch. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna turn into Giant Man because in the first movie he obviously said that he's done it once, but he's the original guy or the original one that's turned into Giant Man. So I think he in the commercial they show Giant. I think they show Giant Man in it. So I think he's gonna be the one that's in the suit at that time. I don't think it'll be Scott. So I think he's gonna sacrifice himself and distract himself from everyone else or from Kang. So this way, Kang goes after him, and Scott and them, Cassie and his daughter, and they take off. But I think Scott stays behind and tries to save him. Or I think once he kills Hank, that he stays behind and tries to defeat Kang. I guess in honor of him.
Wow,
So I think
that's very plausible. Very plausible. I hope you didn't just spoil the movie for everybody, Mr. Collector.
I doubt that. I really, really doubt that's gonna happen. But that'd be kind of cool. Something like that.
I think it would be awesome if that's exactly what happens, and everybody that watched this episode of the Giveaway Show is like super pissed. Like, Mr. Collector, how did he know? They're also in awe, though. How did he know? Who does he know?
Definitely not. If we're gonna blame anyone, Paul's the one that told me this. So
right.
I'm just letting everyone know what Paul told me.
That's right. Paul told you.
Paul told me.
Right. Yeah.
So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
All right. Okay. We're here. I'm about to bring this back up. I'm opening a tab to get our giveaway ready.
Okay.
Let me see. Wait, why is StreamYard not? There we go. Wait. No.
If that does happen, Marvel owes me some money.
If it does happen,
they owe me some money.
I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that could actually I could see that.
It makes sense because he knows the suit better than anyone else because he's the original guy.
That's true. Okay, so here I'm going to share this real quick because I wanted to make sure and show this to people. This is a really cool. Let's see here. Okay, Harm's Way Chad. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, let me show this off real quick, and then we're going to continue with the comments. All right, guys, this is the book. It's called Countdown to Infinite Crisis. And you can see Batman holding Ted Kord there, holding his body there. You don't really see who it is. You can't make it out on the cover, but once you've read the book, you should be able to. This is readily available in back issue bins. It was originally it was an 80-page giant, and it had a cover price of only $1. So it's not, you're not going to like Target collector's price for this issue would be $4 to $5 in near mint. But it really is well worth picking up to read, because it has kind of some elements that led up to Infinite Crisis, but then it also has this really amazing one-shot story about Ted Kord. So, just a little fun thing. If you're interested in DC and Ted Kord's Blue Beetle, and you want to read that story, it really is just one of the most heart-wrenching books ever. So yeah, just want to share that with y'all before we get into the giveaway. Hey, guess what? It is the giveaway show. We're going to do some giveaways. Let me finish reading the chat here. Jonathan Dotson, and then we're going to do the giveaway. No one really dies in the comic books. That's true for sure. There you go, El Green. I have the Agent Coulson variant cover on one of my Guardians of the Galaxy comic books. Okay, I didn't even know there was one. That's pretty cool. Hi, what's up, Andrew Kai? Good to see you, sir. All right. Jonathan Dotson says Coulson did not really die. Yes, I'm aware, but it was still sad when it happened because we thought it was true. Hand pink waving. Hi, Andrew. Good. Okay. Harm's Way Chat says he looks the same as he did in Clueless. Right. That's when Paul Rudd played like what he played like 19 or 20-year-old, and he still looks the same.
Yeah. You seen that movie where he said slap at the bass?
Right. All right. I know Kill Scott and we will get Frogman. Oh, yeah. That'd be kind of funny if Frogman came in. Okay. I think it's going to be Hank and his daughter. Okay. So El Green says he thinks it's going to be Hank and Hope that are going to sacrifice themselves. Then Cassie will take over as the Wasp. Okay. Yeah, Indie Key Comics says Ant-Man is looking amazing. I agree with you very much. Looks really, really good. Okay, Spider-Girl says Ant-Man. Nice. All right, Harm's Way Chad says, since there are seemingly many Ant-Men according to the trailer, maybe that Ant-Man sacrifices himself for the main Ant-Man. That's true. That's true. Yeah, we're thinking, yeah, I think just by process of elimination, I could see Hank Pym going. Now, here's the other thing. Here's a case for Janet Van Dyne being the one to go because it's been hinted in trailers that when Janet that she is scared to go back into the quantum world, the quantum realm, because of something she didn't tell everybody else. So, it could be that kind of sins catching up to her. She knew that Kang was in there, but she didn't tell anybody about somebody that she knew was dangerous. And so the way she redeems herself, at least in her eyes, and depending on how they tell the story, it could be in the audience's eyes too, that maybe that's how she redeems herself by sacrificing herself. And maybe that's it. I don't know. It's just a theory. Let's see. Hey, Harm's Way Chad, person turquoise waving. Okay. That sounds like it should be in the movie. I think Indie Key Comics is talking about your theory. Yeah. Okay, Spider-Girl says blame Paul. Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
I will do Collector. Okay. Hashtag Paul's fault. I will dox Collector if that is true. Yeah, guys, if look, we didn't know about it ahead of time, and I'm not sure where he got that information, but it sounded very much like a movie plot. Indie Key Comics. How do I get into the giveaway? We're going to share that with you in just a second. Indie Key Comics says, as soon as I've seen the trailer, my first thought is, what is Ant-Man doing taking on Kang the Conqueror? That's true. You should have, Scott, you should have known. All right. This dude does not look like he came to play. When he comes marching out in that armor, just sauntering out in that full armor, he is a king. Do not mess with that man. Why would you even mess? But see, that's the beautiful thing. I love the setup. I hope they keep that tone. I've heard rumors that they did last minute reshoots last week. And I know the film opens on February the 17th, but what I've heard is that there were last minute reshoots done last week to add a little bit more humor into the film. I really hope that they don't mess it up. This is a solid film. Oh yeah, Harm's Way Chad says he will not dox you. He promises. Okay. I don't know. But yeah. So this dude said saunter. This made my evening. Yes, because he just came out. Man, he came out like that. Okay, look, here we go. Jonathan Dotson says Collector should write for Marvel. I think so too. I think Mr. Collector's got a few stories in him. All right, guys. So here is the giveaway that we're doing. Like I said, it's X Factor number 92. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and see full screen real quick. X Factor number 92. This is signed by Joe Quesada. It's a near mint minus condition. It is a Dynamic Forces limited edition signature. It's got the COA from Dynamic Forces with it. So this book is going to a new lucky winner tonight. So the way that you enter, I am going to drop a hashtag in the chat and then put it here at the bottom of the screen. And this is the hashtag that you are going to type in, and you have to do it exactly as it's written. If you do not do it exactly as it's written, then the machine will not, the program will not pick you up. So you got to do it just like this. Okay. Hey, look. What's up, Card Shop Reality? Good to see you. All right. So enter to win. The hashtag is hashtag Ant-Man dies.
Oh man.
So yeah, we don't know which one, but we know we're the official position of this show is that we believe that one of the Ant-Men will die, and at least one of them. All right, so hey, you're going to go ahead and enter to win. It's hashtag Ant-Man dies. You can copy and paste into the chat. Go ahead and do that. We're going to let that go for just a minute or two, Mr. Collector. So, what is Cassie Lang is her only superhero identity stature? Was that the only one that she ever held, or do you know?
Yeah, I think that's the only one that I know of. But she could take like someone else said the Wasp. So Nadia Pym, like this Nadia Pym. So this is the first cover of her, but I think she probably be the next Wasp. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going for. They might try to change it up too, though. But that's the only one that I know of.
Wait, so Nadia, now who is Nadia Pym?
I haven't read this issue, but I think it Pym, so I imagine it's who was this one? Failing the defense over. I want to say this is. Let me see. I want to make sure I tell you the right thing because I know that's her. She becomes Wasp. Let me see. Nadia Van Dyne. So that's actually Hank Pym's daughter, Nadia
Mm-hmm.
Van Dyne. So they call her Nadia?
I've never heard of Nadia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I'd never heard of her.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Beta Rich? I once gave up women, drinking, and gambling. It was the worst 20 minutes of my life. All right. Hey, everybody, make sure that you enter. What's up, Beta Ray? Hey, make sure you enter to win. Do not do it more than once. It will only count you once. But we're, pretty excited about that you guys are all here. All right. So looks like we've got pretty much everybody that's going to enter. I'm going to go ahead and drop an inline. And then, you still got a couple seconds to drop your hashtag in it. Remember, it's hashtag Ant-Man dies.
So I have one more theory, I think, about the movie.
Uh-oh. If you give up the whole movie,
this is just from me.
These people are going to be writing into the show, demanding a refund for their movie tickets because Mr. Collector spoiled the entire movie. All right. Okay, let's hear it. What do you got?
So I personally think Scott Lang will defeat Kang, and I think he's going to kill him, but I don't think it's going to be the Kang that he thinks he's killing. I think it's going to be a variant. And
yeah.
So I think he's going to kill the variant thinking he's killed Kang. And when he does that, when he least suspects it, the real Kang comes out and kills him. So I think that's going to happen.
Really? Okay.
Don't mark my words.
So here's something, because you just said that, hey, if you're just dropping in right now, because I saw a small spike in viewership. If you're dropping in, enter hashtag Ant-Man dies if you want to enter to win tonight's giveaway. While we finish up this discussion, I'll go ahead and let you guys do that. I'm putting it up here on the screen. Enter to win hashtag Ant-Man dies. You have to say hashtag Ant-Man dies, and that gets you a chance to win. All right, so we saw that Kang has like a kind of like a whole civilization, like a base there, soldiers, looks like an army that he put together, and then in one of the shots, he is he is seen marching them out. Hang on, let's see here, guys. I'm gonna let this share it into here.
But you've lost a lot of time. Like me.
Okay, I want to share something real quick here. So check this out. So they're all going into the quantum realm. And this is okay. So we're in the quantum realm.
Who are you?
Here's the reveal of Kang.
I'm the man.
Which I love that he just comes out just like royal.
What's that? Time.
Love it. Okay, so look, we see his base of operations. Now check this out. Here it is.
Shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this
There. Okay. So look in the background. Okay, we see Kang. We see Janet, or we see Hope Van Dyne, and we see, I don't know if you guys can see it, if it's large enough. Let me see. Will full screen do it? Yeah, okay, full screen will make it big. I should have watched it like this. Dang it. Okay, so check it out. There's the two characters. There's MODOK at the back, and then you see these two characters with these face plates, right? You see him, Mr. Collector?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that his entire army, like all these foot soldiers, are going to be Kang variants played by Jonathan Majors?
It's possible, but I mean, you could definitely tell there's a height difference.
Can you though?
I mean,
because I mean, look at the angle.
Maybe they're leveled. Yeah, maybe they're leveled up the other two, so they could be. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm wondering is, okay, because you brought that up, that the whole the whole variant feint thing, like could Kang strategically use variants to make them think that it's Tony Stank is saying could be perspective difference. Spider-Girl says it's possible. I don't know. I mean, I'm just I think you opened up a really interesting line of discussion about it being of like Kang utilizing variants of himself to sacrifice in battles, and then that gets me thinking, what if all these guys are like all these faceless, like what if the reveal, like when those faceplates come off or something, is that they're just more variants of Kang, and we get like a version of the Council of Kangs, but it's like his entire army is made up of all his variants that he's gone back in time. He's gone back and forth in time, just scooping up past versions of himself from all these different timelines. So I don't know, and yeah, and then the Loki series, we're in the Loki series, he's in control of the time variance authority, right? So I don't know. It's interesting because when you start talking about time, oh man, yeah, there's a lot that he could do. Like he's a very powerful character. Like Thanos was like brute strength, but but Kang, when you talk about a character that can go back and forth in time at a whim and control time and manipulate time, I don't know. There's and is aware of all the variants of himself. Because remember, in the Loki series, the one who remains referenced that there's others like me that are really different,
Mm-hmm.
and I think when they become aware of all their variants, they become much more powerful, because especially then if you start learning how to manipulate it and control it, the process, that's like, that, I don't know, that gets into like a whole different level. So okay, looks like we got everybody entered to win. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to collect votes one more time. I want to make sure everybody got a chance. So start collecting. Okay, we got 14 views. I'm going to share this tab now. All right, everybody ready? Let me go ahead and bring it up here. Remember, this is for a copy of X Factor number 92, signed by Joe Quesada, with a certificate of authenticity from Dynamic Forces. So here we go.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone.
Beta Ray.
What in the world? Somebody hacked the system. Somebody hacked the system. Look at this. Beta Ray Jim. What?
So not only if I'm in trouble for spoiling the whole movie, but now Beta Ray won. So
so they're gonna say, it's the there's some sort of shenanigans afoot with the the Strictly Comics family of channels. Yep, there he goes. Look, here it goes. Here it starts. Rigged.
Rigged. Oh man.
So, all right, congratulations, Beta Ray.
Congrats,
Jim.
Beta Ray.
Is he in here? Let's see. Right. I know. Look. That fool only showed up to get on the giveaway. Rigged.
Oh,
that's it right
man.
there. All right, Beta Ray, are you in the chat? Watch, he's.
Either he's in shock or he's scared to claim it.
I know. He's like, oh man, wait a second, what am I gonna do? He's like, we need to recount. IndieKey, for a second, I thought it would be. Yep, yeah. No, I did too, IndieKey. I thought you were for sure taking it home. The book stays in the family. There you go. I'm kidding. Congrats, Beta Ray Jim. There you go. All right, everybody. So congratulations to Beta Ray Jim. Glad that you won it, brother. Here is let me show it off real quick one more time. So this is the book of the night. This is X Factor number 92. Harm's Way, Chad. Right, I know. Hey, I just spoke to Beta Ray Jim on the phone. He said send it over to me. All right. So this is signed by Joe Quesada. This is number 2,575 of 7,500. X Factor number 92. So here is the deal. I didn't reveal this, but here's an extra chance to win for something that we're doing with the giveaway show, and you're going to want to hear this. All the books that are starting to get shipped out from this year and the last few from last year, they're going to include a slip of paper. The slip of paper for every giveaway show winner, as well as those who buy from me on an auction. If I show up on an auction, there's going to be a slip of paper with instructions for how to enter to win a bigger prize at the end of the semester. So at the end of the semester, all the giveaway show winners are going to be entered. For those who follow the instructions, they're going to be entered to win a slab, and that's going to be in May of this year, and that's going to be a special episode of the giveaway show, and we'll be doing a slab just for the winners of all the regular episodes of the giveaway show. And there's going to be a special slip that's going to go inside of those packages, and you will have to follow the instructions on that slip to be able to enter to win. So I'll put some more information out about that on Instagram, and then over the coming month or two, because there's no hurry. We're not doing that drawing until May, but it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a book that you don't want to miss out on. So, but I just thought that would be a cool way, because we want there to be more. We want there to be more crossover between Instagram and here on YouTube. So for all those winners, follow the slip. And then I'm also working on getting some other cool stuff to start dropping in the giveaway bundles and sales bundles that go out. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. It is truly one of the highlights of my week, Wednesday nights, to be hanging out with you here on the giveaway show. Congratulations to Beta Ray Jim for taking home X Factor number 92. This is signed by Joe Quesada. It does have a certificate of authenticity. And yes, Johnny 5 Alive, I think everyone here has won. Yes, most regular viewers have won at least once. However, it's only the books, and I've held quite a few back to start shipping out, but only the books that are going out this year are going to include the slip. It'll be a slip of paper. You'll know it when you see it, because it'll have my logo on it, and it's going to give you instructions for how to enter to win the slab giveaway that we're going to do in May. So you want to pay attention for that. Also, make sure and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, because at 1,100 subscribers, we're going to reveal the 1,500 subscriber giveaway, and that's another one that you want to be able to get in on. But thank you guys again for being here tonight and for hanging out with us. I'm going to let Mr. Collector say some final thoughts and shout outs.
Yeah. First, I want to say thank you, Carlos, for, permanently having me on. Like I said, it's a real blessing to be here and not just talk to you and Paul, but talk to, the great community that we all enjoy having, time to talk to. So thank you again for that. Always, I'm glad we're back on. Had a few weeks off, so glad to be back on it. Next week, of course, Paul will be back with us. So the show will be a couple hours longer when Paul gets back. But other than that, like I said, it was a great topic. I know we have a lot more to talk about next week. So thank you again, and y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, thanks again for y'all being here tonight. It has, as always, it's a fun time to get to hang out here. Just a quick note. Also, we do have a show coming up here in the Greater Houston area that is put on by Strictly Comics. It's called Pop Culture Power Show, and that's going to be the last. It's March 30th through April the 1st. And so that's going to be a big convention. We're going to have some really cool people. I don't have the slides downloaded here, but it will be a really fun convention. So if you are anywhere near us, please consider coming to that. You can find out more about it, I think, at pwrshows.com, powershows.com, pwrshows.com. To get tickets or to find out more. There will also be mail-in submissions for big name creators like Roy Thomas. He's one of the creators of Wolverine. Larry Hama, Mr. G.I. Joe himself, who's also done quite a few other books as well, but he's mostly known for G.I. Joe. There's going to be a bunch of voice actors as well. We're going to have, the artist for X-Men Adventures #1 will be here. And then there's going to be the voice of Destro, Baroness, Zartan, a whole bunch of other G.I. Joe and Transformers cartoon voice actors will be here. So that's going to be a really cool thing. Again, it's coming up on March the 30th through April the 1st. I think I'm getting the dates correct. Here in Stafford, Texas, which is in the Greater Houston area. And you can find out more at pwrshows.com. The Carlos Collects Comics channel crew will be there, and full of all of us will be there. Everybody that you see on the show will be there, and we'll actually I can say we will be broadcasting live from the show. We're going to have some special episodes hosted by some of us. And so there'll be special episodes and special convention coverage that we'll be doing from the show and also from, hotel rooms afterward. But we are looking forward to that. It's awesome show. So if you're in the area, make sure that you go to pwrshows.com and check it out, because you're going to want to not miss out on that. But hey, thanks so much for being here tonight. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Remember what I said at the top of the show. This Friday at 10 p.m. Central, the top 10 Punisher comics to add to your collection. That video is going live. We're also going to be at the end of the month. I'm going to be interviewing Joffrey Cotton, who is an independent comic artist with multiple titles that he's got out. He's going to be hanging out with me that Friday night. So make sure that you are, that you're checking that out. If you want to see some other cool material, also on the channel, I have a creator interview featuring Mark Waid, the writer of Kingdom Come and the Tower of Babel storyline from JLA. That's the infamous story in which Batman's contingency plans to take out the Justice League are put into play by Ra's al Ghul. So excellent interview. He had a lot of good feedback and thoughts and memories. So check that out. That's also here live on the channel. But hey, thanks so much for being here tonight. We've enjoyed hanging out with you as always. And we're going to go and sign off, myself and Mr. Collector. But again, we've enjoyed it. From everybody here to everybody there, keep reading those comic books, and you have a great time, because we're thinking about you. We'll see you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.